Hello, my name is Annette Montalvo. This is Jurgen Eysenck, known for extensive research in personality theory and intelligence. Today I'll be analyzing Hans' life along with significant world events that have influenced his theories while also connecting these ideas to modern psychological approaches. Hans Eysenck was born March 4th, 1916, in Berlin, German Empire. He was an only child to Edward and Ruth, married twice, and had 5 children. Hans was raised by his Jewish grandmother after his parents divorced at age 2. During this time, there was an uprising in the Nazi regime that began his journey to London. To the Nazis, Hans was known as a Herrenvolk, which is a word for master race, just because he had blonde hair and blue eyes. He was also the only non-Jewish boy in his class who refused to join the Hitler Youth. Due to the Nazi regime, they emigrated to England, which the transition was pivotal for him because it influenced his views on individual differences and the importance of autonomy in psychological development, which are concepts that resonate with modern humanistic approaches. This ultimately led him to pursue a psychology degree, which he studied at the University of London. Initially, he planned to study physics, but since he didn't meet the prereqs for the program, he shifted towards psychology and received his BA. Under the supervision of Cyril Burt, who is known for his work on intelligence, Eysenck achieved a PhD in psychology. But during this time, World War II started, and he was declared an enemy alien and almost interned and couldn't find a job due to his status. Luckily, he landed a job as a research psychologist at North London's Mill Hill Hospital and later founded the psychology department at the Institute of Psychiatry after the war. His major contributions included development of the Eysenck personality inventory, which identifies traits of PEN, which is the PEN model of personality theory. The factor of analysis in personality psychology represented a significant shift towards empirical methods in psychology, and the comparison with Big Five personality model gained prominence as Hahn's foundational work continues to inform our understanding of personality and the ongoing relevance of his theories. Now, there were several significant world events that influenced Hans Eysenck's theoretical development. So, for the rise of Nazism, this instilled a rejection of authoritarianism in Eysenck, emphasizing rationality, an idea that aligns with modern critiques of oppressive systems in psychology. For World War II, the psychological toll of the war led him to advocate for behavioral therapy, reflecting current trends in evidence based practice. For the post war era, the shift towards empirical research was foundational for Eysenck and remains a cornerstone of contemporary psychological methods. The civil rights movement, this challenged Eysenck's views on intelligence that promoted critical decisions about race and genetics that are still relevant, unfortunately, in today's debates on intelligence and equity. And for the Cold War, the political climate surrounding scientific racism affected Eysenck's reputation, reflecting ongoing tensions in the field regarding ethics and scientific integrity. And for the health and smoking research, this was influenced the tobacco industry as it raised questions of conflicts of interest that are increasingly scrutinized in modern research ethics. And so Hans had a lot of controversy throughout his career because of those claims about the genetic influences on intelligence and his critique of psychoanalysis. But his advocacy for behavior therapy marked a significant departure from traditional methods and opened doors for modern cognitive behavioral approaches. He also argued that intelligence was heritable, which meant that variations in IQ scores were rooted in biological inheritance rather than it being influenced solely on environmental factors. Eysenck's theories not only reflected the scientific discourse of this time, but had broader implications for societal attitudes towards race and equality. However, due to the research funding coming from the tobacco industry, it led to ethical dilemmas and public scrutiny that challenged the psychological research to this day. And so, at the time of his death, he was the most cited psychologist in the UK and authored over 80 books and 1,600 articles. His work influenced psychological clinical psychology and continues to provoke discussions on how we're able to understand the interplay between genetics and environment, which is an area of ongoing research on contemporary psychology. And so these are just some of the publishings that I put on here because I've personally experienced some of these and I've read some of these throughout my college courses, whether it be community college or university. And so I just thought it was interesting to share like the relevancy and the legacy and the impact he's had in the field of psychology. So this visual timeline of Eysenck's life and work have reflected the significant impact of the historical and personal context on the theoretical development. So not only have his contributions been groundbreaking, but they are intertwined with controversies that have been able to then challenge us to be able to critically evaluate the intersection of science and ethics in psychology. And so, by understanding his theories, it's allowed us to appreciate the complexities of psychological research and the importance of ethical considerations shaping that field. So, if anyone is interested in more information on Hans-Jürgen Eysenck, here are the references for my research. I appreciate you for listening and thank you for your attention.